Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Chasing Psychological Safety, our series where we talk about what can we do so that we make teams have magic. Today, we're going to be talking about a topic that we are just defining. We're in the middle of having a couple of conversations and design sprints about this. Somewhere in our software, there's a little bit of a mini feature called a one-on-one counter, and we wrote about this before. The ones of you that are using our software would have seen it. It's essentially just a tick that tells managers whether or not they have had what we said was a one-on-one with their teams. But as we were developing the software, getting feedback, thinking about things, we realized that we really didn't want people to think of it as a one-on-one. And we came up with a very new definition. And if Fionn wants to say hello and tell you what it is, then take it away.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the video series. So as part of this ongoing conversation about one-to-ones and team leaders and line managers being able to connect with their people, we had a lot of chat and thinking about what it really meant to make a connection with the people in your team. And we prefer, rather than focusing on one-to-ones, to think more about human moments. So saying to a line manager, a leader, a team leader, anybody who's got responsibility or influence on a group of people that, yes, one-to-ones are great, and one-to-ones are a fantastic way to have a human moment with the people in your team. But we need to be able to think more broadly and more flexibly than that if we're working with a team. We need to be able to create human moments, one-to-one formally, but also one-to-one informally. Create human moments within those moments when we're just talking to someone about a technical issue on a project. We need to be able to create human moments where we can draw together a whole team or parts of a team or key people in a project team for a conversation and make those moments not just about the technical work that we've got to discuss, but to find ways to create that sense of connection and humanity. So asking the questions about how they are, how they're feeling, what's the impact of the work on them at the moment, what's happening for them outside of work. There's all sorts of ways in which we can do it, and we could talk about those tips endlessly, but it's about thinking broadly and flexibly about how to create human moments in the context of your team and in ways that are, efficient and meaningful for you.
It isn't easy. And we don't feel as managers, we've all been there where we were either early enough in our journey as a leader or stressed enough in our journey as a leader that those times of connecting with people in our teams slip and they become less important than things that are on the list more formally, but they never pay off to be put off, which is why we are so adamant that we try and help team leaders keep an eye on the existence of these moments. And we realized as we were talking to teams and as we were designing this that obviously calling it a one-on-one is very misleading. We never really actually meant those formal performance managing sort of one-on-one. We always refer to what would be a moment of human connection, a moment that's emotionally significant. And we realized fast that just saying it should happen is not good enough. People are so far removed from understanding the effect of their connections that we will have to, as Fionn was mentioning earlier, have an actual list for people. Say to them, it might be brushing shoulders as you grab another coffee. It might be asking how the vet doctor visit went. It might be very normal things where we end up all 10 of us talking about children for an hour and nobody freaks out about the next meeting time. Or it might be just liking someone's content or whatever it is that we feel has had an emotional impact on both ourselves and the person or people we have had it with, when that connection actually happens. And nobody needs the actual definition. We feel when a connection happens, but we do need a definition as a permission to know that these are a good idea to see in practice.
Yeah. And I think practice is a good word there. So making it part of your leadership practice, part of your team practice, making it part of your goals, your team charter, whatever it might be, where people use words like respect and trust in those environments, these human moments are where you can build that. So, you know, they can really turn into, you know, the tool that helps you make that shift in your team and helps you to build that psychological safety in your team.
And if you do nothing else as a leader, keeping a firm eye on whether or not you've had these moments, keeping a continuous counter in your head of them having happened or not, will prove incredibly valuable. And I think we all know that instinctively. Anyone who's managed people effectively and who's had a team that had psychological safety knows that you live with this constant in the back of your mind counter, and you know when you've slipped on communication with someone and there have been no magical moments for a while. You kind of know in the back of you sometimes even give up on individuals because you feel like, you know, realistically, I've missed so many moments of connection and so many boats have been missed that it's very unlikely that I can get back to a place where myself and this person and all of us in the team are in the correct place. So we know instinctively when there hasn't been enough emotional investment in our people, but there's no reason not to have some type of helpful mnemonic for doing it. And as time goes, I think we all find in our teams that various people need different amounts of interaction, different types of interaction. We learn different things about different people. We know what they respond to. We have shared histories, all of those like internal jokes and finishing each other's sentences, those start building. But it isn't until we are intentional about, as Fionn says, having them in a practice. And we see that every day in our work with team leaders. It's really helpful to have an idea of who have you been neglecting and who have you been spending too many emotionally connected moments on.
Yeah. Absolutely. And allow the confidence to build over time would be the final thing I would say on that. You know, with step change doesn't happen overnight. Creating an environment of human moments is something that you need to just begin doing, see how it goes, and then build from there. Your confidence will grow over time.
And as usual, and if you refer back to our other, our obsession with empathy, that's probably still the best place to start, because you won't be able to just have this mental notes on whether or not someone likes basketball and someone else is a bird lover. You will have to find a place where those two topics resonate for you. You will have to find a place where you're just as human as they are, and that there's an authentic connection. So these types of moments that we're describing here will not happen unless it's true magic and not faking humanity. But we wish you the very best in both keeping score and being intentional about these moments. And come talk to us. We have some ideas. We've seen some things happen with other teams, and we'd love to share those with you. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening to us again.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.